The scoreboard one was probably I think there's probably a few elements that I thought we started really well. I thought our intensity and our energy in the first quarter was really good. It would have been good to get another couple of scores in that first quarter, but I thought we were really cracking in. And they got, I think, in the second quarter, 3 goals from free kicks. So I think 4 out of their first 6 goals were from free kicks, which we caused. And that stung us a bit, I think, and we didn't take our chances. They got some of those easy goals, which sort of released the pressure a little bit that we caused. And that's probably the first half. And I thought we just, the last quarter, they were right on top of their game.
Did the conditions affect your
I'm not sure. I mean, I thought that early in the game, it was pretty wet and slippery still, and I thought we were pretty good. I just thought we were good when that. I thought the longer the game went, we kicked it back to them a little bit too much. We sort of wanted our forwards didn't get back inside 50 probably as hard as what we should have, and I thought the defenders rolled off and played pretty smart footy and probably didn't get enough opportunities to hit the scoreboard.
Was in skill and execution comparison particularly sort of ranked?
I think it was probably, it's obviously tough conditions, but it was more about our structure forward of the ball, to be honest. I thought that we probably lost a little bit of structure. When you play teams with really smart defenders, they're, if you go to spots where you're not going to get the ball, they'll roll off you, and I thought that was probably costly at times. It wasn't the story of the night. I just thought at times it was costly for us.
Guys like Scarlett and Naki sort of rolling off and getting the loose footy, you sort of pinpointed through the third quarter or three-quarter time various sort of players that you might have used to sort of counteract that, or players in particular that perhaps weren't pushing back?
We spoke as a group where we wanted to address it, but we just weren't effective at it. We knew that what was happening, but we just didn't execute it as well as what we could have. Which was probably the third quarter and certainly the last quarter that happened a bit. But I still get back to that first half. There were some things there in regards to free kicks that we just got to get better at as a team. That when you're playing well, you've got to make sure you get those easier goals that we should have got, and you don't give away easy goals. And I just thought we let the pressure off a little bit at times, particularly in the second quarter, with giving them some easy goals.
A couple of youngsters, Sam Reid presented well, missed a couple of shots. Nick Smith thought, obviously on a Class C player, but worked pretty hard. With some of those young boys. Yeah, we think that they're coming along pretty well. I mean, they've had big workloads. A couple of younger kids, Reedy in particular, playing centre half forward, it's a big job, and he's done pretty well. It would have been nice to have some finish with his work tonight. I think he kicked 3 behind, so it would have been good for him to finish off his work. I thought Joshy Kennedy was pretty good as well. For a younger player, I thought he was pretty good. You've got the next side to confront the bye as well. I mean, is there, after a pretty intense, a lot of close games, physical games, is there sort of a strategy that you're looking to take into the week off in terms of freshening blokes up? Yeah, we'll sit down with our conditioners during on Monday and work it out. I think that we have had a pretty intense run. It's been some pretty tough games, hard physical games, and I think our endeavour's been very good, but. The reality is when you come up against one of the best teams over the last 6 years, with as many good players who go as hard as they do for 4 quarters, we come up short. So I've always said we need to improve as a footy team, and I think we come away tonight still knowing we've got to improve.
Do you see it as a step backwards, or just a bit of a reality check going against one of the top?
No, I don't see it as necessarily a step back. I just think it's for parts of the game tonight we were really good and we really matched Geelong, and but I think ultimately they're a good team because A, they've got good players, but B, they go really hard for 4 quarters and they don't let up. And I think we're still learning that a little bit. We've got some players that are just starting to realised that a 4-quarter effort like that against mature, hard bodies like Geelong, who have been playing finals footy for a long period of time, that's what they're good at.
Anybody in the twos pressing to get up next week tonight?
Yeah, we thought our reserves were pretty good. I mean, I think there's a number of players there. It was, Jared Moore was very good. Ty Kennelly, obviously, was good. I thought Brett Meredith, Mike Pike, Seaby, those blokes in the ruck did a pretty good job. Lukey Parker as a younger player. I thought generally our reserves probably had 6 or 7 pretty good players tonight.
I know the deficit was better than what it was last year, but do you feel like you're closing that gap on those top 4 or 3 teams?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I hope so. I know when I first spoke to the players when I first took over, I knew that we had to improve, and I was still walking away from tonight knowing we've got to improve, and there's no doubt. They've got 12 or 13 All-Australians running around tonight, so they've got some quality players. But we know we've got to bridge that gap. Did we take a step forward tonight? At times we did, but it's about being consistent against the best who play that way for 4 quarters. And I thought at times we did tonight, but at times we just took our foot off. I thought some of the contested footy stuff was really good from us, but sometimes we weren't great at it.
With the week off, do you step back and assess your first month and say it's a pretty tough draw, just the one loss, been very competitive in every game, a couple of very good wins in the draw. If you were to give it a ranking, how do you assess your start to the season?
I think the effort from the players has been super, to be honest. I think that their effort over that period of time has been very good, but we know that effort alone will get you so much. We need to work on a few things, and against a team like Geelong, you've got to be more consistent at that. So I think the first month has been a really solid month for us. We've had a couple of kids debut, which has been a positive for the footy club. But we know we've got Carlton here in a couple of weeks' time, and that won't be easy. And I'm sure we'll lick our wounds tonight and get going Monday. And I think that the bye for us, I think, has come at a good time in regards to working on some things that we need to work on, getting a few blokes that have got a few bumps and bruises ready to go.
How do you assess Geelong? Do you see them still very much up there as well on the competition bench?
Oh, absolutely. Geelong, for mine, those calling for the early demise of Geelong, I always thought didn't really look into it too hard. I mean, they've only lost really one player from last year. I know he's a good player, but there's plenty of other good players out there, and they know what it takes to be successful, and so I'm sure they'll be around the mark this year.
Any injury concerns out tonight?
No, I don't think so. I think the injury list was pretty good. So, from that point of view, we're getting some players back who played tonight in our reserves, and so I'm really hopeful that after the bye we have some real depth and some pressure on for spots, which is really pleasing.